Hey everyone, it's Eric Miller, Econologics Financial Advisors, and we are doing Mythbuster Thursday. Why are we doing Mythbuster? We're keeping this, by the way. We're not cutting this right here, okay? We're gonna bust some myths today. I don't care how I say that word. Now, a financial myth. Let's talk about financial myths for a second. Now, why is something a financial myth? These are things that you've heard all your life that you just kind of assumed were true, but when you actually look at that, inspect it, it's usually more or less going to be bad for you if you actually follow whatever that advice is, okay? Now, does that mean that you're stupid because you're following this myth? No. Every financial lie that you've ever heard has a kernel of truth in it, okay? It means that there has been some instance where that myth has actually worked for somebody for some reason, okay? That doesn't mean overall that it's a useful advice or it's going to be good for you, okay? Now, the one that we're going to attack today is one that I've heard really becoming more prevalent here, and it's the idea that you always need debt to expand. Now, if you go and you look all the financial gurus out there, a lot of them are going to tell you that they utilize millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of debt, other people's money, to create wealth. And again, there is definitely some kernels of truth in that you actually can use leverage to acquire assets and use the power of the bank to be able to create more money and more wealth for yourself. It's absolutely true. But do you need it? Do you need debt to expand? And the question is absolutely not, okay? You need to make sure that you are competent first and foremost. I mean, let's take an example of this, okay? If I went tomorrow and I borrowed $5 million from the bank, okay? And I went and I bought a manufacturing company. Now, is that going to be beneficial to me? Not at all. Why? Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to running a manufacturing company, okay? So the idea that you just borrow money and it's automatically going to make you expand, it's a myth, right? You have to have competency first. You have to know what you're doing in whatever you're going to borrow money for. Okay, that's the first thing that I would definitely make sure that I do. Secondly, that you have to have good control of money. And so when you look at how you should expand, really the factors of expansion are personal production, being able to save money or control money so that you can create reserves that you can then utilize to expand, and then to invest prudently in areas that you have understanding. And really, to me, those are the building blocks of expansion right there, okay? It's not just using debt to expand. Now, I'll say this again. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't use debt. That you can use debt strategically, you can use debt to acquire assets, but don't have the viewpoint that for whatever expansion project that you're looking at, whether you're building a new practice, whether you're building a new building, whether you are going to buy another practice, or you're going to do a build out, or you're going to buy equipment, don't always have the assumption or the viewpoint that I have to borrow for everything, okay? Make sure that you're setting money aside, save, and try to expand that way. I think what you'll find is that you're going to keep a lot more money, that you're going to expand faster, and that you'll be able to, actually when there are opportunities for you to borrow, you'll be able to do it at a grander scale, and that's going to increase your wealth even more exponentially. Okay, so that's my rant for today. You don't necessarily need debt to expand. You need to make sure that you have competency, good control of money, and that you have discipline, and that will usually lead to expansion. Okay, this is Eric Miller, Econologics Financial Advisors, trying to make sure that you unleash your inner financial beast and get into financial beast mode. We'll see you next time.